happy 1997 on time.
1997 was a great year to be alive, or so I'm told, considering I was no more than an itch in my daddy's balls. Pop culture was booming. Titanic, Good Will Hunting, Men in Black, OK Computer, Around the Fur, Homogenic, Fallout, Goldeneye, Quake 2? How about this bad boy? Yeah, you weren't thinking of this, were you? It seems everybody yet nobody talks about the first two Grand Theft Autos. San Andreas this, Vice City that. Fuck all that noise. We're going back to the beginning, baby.
Grand Theft Auto, you gotta make a mark and move where you want to. That determination to steal what you can and run from the nation. Hey, what do you say?
Our story begins in a place that could not be more boring if it tried. Dundee, as in crocodile. After releasing Lemmings, DMA Design were looking for their next big break. Eureka, they thought. A cops and robbers game that would go by the name of Race and Chase.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Boring. During development, the devs came to the conclusion that every teenager who's gotten straight A's their whole life inevitably comes to. It's way more fun to break the rules. Due to a bug that made the police in Race and Chase too aggressive, the game quickly changed from an avoid cops, do missions racing game to a wreak havoc, kill pedestrians, steal vehicles, open world sandbox game. In other words, GTA was born the moment players realized that being a law-abiding citizen is lame, especially in a virtual world. See, at the time, parents and old senile farts seemed to have this idea that if you are constantly fed violence through media, or more specifically in this case, video games, then you yourself will become a violent person and commit atrocious crimes.
Kids who play a lot are frustrated, they're anxious, they have a lot of problems with communication, they have fights within their family, their sibling problems.
In an attempt to stir controversy about the game prior to its release, BMG Interactive hired infamous UK publicist Max Clifford to stir up media attention and public outcry, feeding stories to tabloids and parliament members who in turn publicly condemned Grand Theft Auto. As for Max Clifford, that's a story for another time. This would become a trend that would continue to affect the GTA series, but we all know the numbers speak for themselves. This was the age-old tactic known as any publicity is good publicity. What can I say? Controversy sells. Take a look at Kim Kardashian. One sex tape with a dude who sells earbuds, fast forward a couple years and boom, billionaire. Mind you, this is the reaction to a relatively tame top-down shooting game that most people wouldn't even bat an eye at these days. The controversy didn't stop in the UK, however, as Brazil banned the game in 1998, stating that the game is dangerous because it trivializes robbery and murder and could incite younger players to violence. By the time GTA was released, it was far from polished. It was a slightly broken diamond in the rough, like that single mom of 7 that you match with on Tinder. Go get 'em, Tiger. Critics weren't sure what to think of it, with IGN stating, "Grand Theft Auto is a fun game, but you may find yourself saying to yourself out loud, hey, why didn't they fix this? Not a good sign for a game that has so much potential." This was written by a man named Douglas Perry, by the way, so take it with a grain of salt. Players, on the other hand, loved it. Do you play Skyrim expecting the game to run perfectly smooth with absolutely no hiccups whatsoever? No. The same goes for GTA. For the purpose of this video, I will be playing the PlayStation 1 version, but from what I can gather from online discussion, the best current version is the Max Pack version posted on the GTA forums. Upon booting, you are presented with ye olde faithful character select screen. These characters are Travis, Bubba, Troy, and Kivlov. On the PC version, you'd also get access to Divine, Katie, Mickey, and Alkyra. There's no real difference between these, as the manual puts it, 4 funky fellas. After I picked Bubba, because funny, I noticed that there was no tutorial, no minimap, no hand holding, no bullshit. Only this bad boy. This is your mission arrow. It shows you where to go, like a minimap with no indicators whatsoever. It could be down the street or across the whole map. God only knows. The first thing you notice is the camera. Not the fact that it's top-down perspective, but the fact that while you drive, the camera swings around erratically. Feels like I'm laying in bed after a few too many sody pops, you know what I'm saying, fellas? As the manual tells it, this is because your nefarious behavior is being recorded by the DMA news chopper that is constantly hovering over you. This is strange, seeing as we start the game as an innocent man. Then there are the controls. Opposed to walking with the D-pad or analog stick alone, you must rotate your character with any directional control, as well as hold X to move forward or triangle to move backwards. As for the other controls, there's really nothing too special going on. X, triangle, forward, backward, same for driving and walking. Square is entering and exiting a vehicle, and circle is attack. R1 is handbrake and L1 is weapon switch. R2 on the other hand does a little something special. In vehicles, it's the horn, but on foot, it's farting and burping. The graphics are kinda special in their own way. Compared to other games released around the same era, they aren't S tier, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, but they fit the aesthetic. They're kinda charming in their own way. Honestly, I couldn't imagine the graphics being different from what they are. It's kind of like Your Baby versus the Mona Lisa. Is Your Baby a beautiful, priceless, handed down through generations piece of art? No, nowhere near. But it's got that weird, childlike charm that makes it what it is. If you get it, you get it. If it makes sense, it makes sense. Missions are given to you via telephone booth. See, you're this 2-bit gangster wannabe doing odd jobs for the mob trying to prove your worth. These range from, hey, pick up this guy and drop him off. Hey, steal this car, the mob needs it. Hey, go whack this guy off, he knows too much. These are placed on phone booths starting from least difficult to most difficult. The classic left to right technique. Of course, there is also the option to fail missions. What's unique here is that the game doesn't give you a redo per se. No try again. Once you fail, that's it. You've lost respect from the mob. Lose multiple, and you get a phone call from this mysterious middle guy telling you to get up off your no good, lousy, rotten keister and find your own work, and that no more missions will be provided.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
This isn't that big of a deal because the missions given are optional. What really matters is the score, which in this instance is represented by money. For example, I tanked the ever-living fuck out of my first run by either failing the mission outright or not making it to another phone booth in time to complete a mission. But if I cause enough mayhem in order to acquire X amount of points, in this case it was 1 million, then I complete that chapter and move on to the next. You play the game in chapters with a new location every 2 chapters, these being Liberty City, San Andreas, and Vice City, with your goal being to complete missions within those chapters or obtain enough money to progress. Again, these being completely optional. I'm making this sound way more complicated than it actually is. Look at it this way. Liberty City is a book with 2 chapters. To continue the story, we must move on to the next book, which is San Andreas, so on and so forth. Most other versions of this game have 90 missions in total. Unfortunately, the PlayStation version only has 88, as 2 were removed due to limitations. When you enter a vehicle, you'll notice 2 things: the absurd controls and the music. Holy shit, is it ever S tier. Absolutely slaps, all the way across the board. Never a dull moment. I mean, get a load of this.
Cause she never once forgave him, even underneath the cave-in, but he knew she would forgive him, and that gold mine in the sky.
Now, I hate to compare this game to another game in the same series, but think of all those times you square down, L2 up, L1 circle up, X left on San Andreas, and the music, no matter the station, always perfectly set the mood. It's like that, albeit a lot less music. For any shortcomings this game may have, this ultimately makes up for it. Your heads-up display showcases a plethora of things. Let's go bit by bit, shall we? Top left shows your pager. Really dates this game. While you're playing, you will randomly receive messages through it like share prices, hints, tips, or other illegal jobs. Top right is the area name, bonus multiplier, and your score, which are both acquired in the exact way you'd think they would be, committing crimes. The bottom left shows you messages, which will show you instructions that you receive via phone or other messages. If you missed them the first time, no biggie. Press select and it will reappear. Top middle would be your wanted level. Wanted levels in this game work just about the same as any other GTA game. Basically, you do illegal shit, provoke police attention, continue to commit crimes, raise your wanted level. Doesn't matter if police are inside or not. Police in this game aren't just out to arrest you, they are also insanely trigger happy. Minor fender bender, good luck, man. They're going apeshit ballistic up in this bitch. Getting rid of your wanted level isn't as easy as hiding out in a gutter until the smoke clears like future games, though there are a couple ways to shake the heat. One is by entering a respray shop, getting a paint job, no biggie. Second is the cop bribe. There's also the get out of jail free card. If you grab one of these, getting arrested won't cost you your weapons, armor, or score multiplier. These are usually hidden in breakable crates throughout the city. This is also your way of acquiring weapons. Weapons are relatively lacking, but hey, it gets the job done. You have your fist, a pistol, a machine gun, a rocket launcher, and last but not least, a flamethrower. Everybody's favorite.
Purchase your tracks today.
Included was a simple but fun multiplayer mode, which could be played either via LAN or split screen. Players could choose from any map from the game's cities to engage in free-for-all mayhem, stealing cars, blowing shit up, running from the police while completing objectives, but with a friend. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the map is a mess. It's cluttered, confusing, and somehow empty and overcrowded at the same time. Occasionally, there'd be a mission taking place on the complete opposite side of the map, and in between there's a lot of bridges and water, so I'd always end up in a complete dead end somehow. I swear I spent more time getting lost or looking for power-ups than I did actually completing missions. See, when this game was released, it came with physical maps, so this problem is entirely my own. But despite looking at a map online, I was still confused. If you're planning on playing this game and would like a map, I would suggest looking into Map Genie. It has every map for every one of these games. There are tons upon tons of vehicles to choose from. Cars, vans, trucks, even school buses. Most of these are relatively decent, except for motorcycles. The bane of my existence. Try as hard as you want. Remaining on a motorcycle is near impossible. Any minor collision results in you being thrown from the vehicle. I found this out super early on, so for the latter half of my playthrough, I just avoided them entirely. Now, I know what you've all been waiting for, everybody's favorite, a staple in every GTA game, the cheat codes. In order to use these, you needed to enter any of these codes into the name entry screen. Though lacking compared to later games, they still do the trick every time. I didn't use these too much because I wanted my run to be as vanilla as possible, but they range from max points to unlimited health to all weapons to invincibility to all of them at the same time. It's a little something for everybody.
3, 2, 1, happy 1999!
By 1999, expansion packs were becoming the new norm for PC games. They were a cheap and efficient way for developers to release extra content, keeping players hungry for more and helping games stay alive between major releases. Grand Theft Auto had turned out to be a surprise hit for DMA Design, so rather than rushing straight into GTA 2, the team decided to have Grand Theft Auto Mission Pack 1 London 1969 developed using the same engine and core gameplay mechanics as the original. It served as a bridge between titles meant to keep the series in the public eye and maintain momentum while the main studio focused its efforts on the sequel. Seeing as both DMA Design and BMG were British companies, they decided to set the game in London opposed to a fictionalized US city. In order to play this, you also needed to own GTA 1. With some finessing, I managed to get my PS1 emulator to run it. The characters are all new but play the same. These were Charles Jones, Johnny Hawthorne, Maurice Kane, Mick Casey, Rodney Morash, Sid Vacant, Winston Henry, and Wolfie Villains. The plot, for the most part, also remained the same, doing miscellaneous crimes for different organizations. London 1969 had over 30 new missions and a complete overhaul on the vehicles, making them more time appropriate. The weapons remained the same, but were reskinned for the same reason. They also went ahead and redid all of the music as well as the radio stations. I really wanted to say more about this, but that's all it really is. A spin on the original concept, but in an entirely different decade and location. Not long after London 1969 was released, a freeware mini expansion called Grand Theft Auto Mission Pack No. 2, London 1961 was released. This was a PC exclusive, and in order to play, you needed to own both Grand Theft Auto 1 and the GTA London 1969 Mission Pack. Initially, when I started this video, I tried to refrain from downloading the Max Pack version because I'm a giga paranoid freak when it comes to running executables, but in order to play this one, I had no choice. Honestly, I should have just given in from the start because it really is the best version of the original Grand Theft Auto out right now. London 1961 was released just a few months after London 1969. It acted as sort of a bonus mission pack rather than a full product, offering fans one last taste of the original Grand Theft Auto engine before the series moved on to GTA 2. During the process of making this video, I had tons of fun for the first little while. The honeymoon stage, we'll call it. Once I got a grasp on the controls, I had a blast speeding around the city, fucking shit up. But once you enter mid to late stage game, it starts to feel more like a chore. The missions were always on a time constraint, sometimes unrealistically so. I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with this if there were some way to replay missions, because if we're being completely honest here, acquiring points without doing missions is a grind. This could all boil down to the version I decided to play and the PlayStation's limitations. Granted, there's nothing exactly wrong with this, considering that it's quite literally the whole concept of the game. It's kind of like Pac-Man. Ooh, hey look, a Pac-Man machine. Throw in a quarter, play for 20 minutes, move on. Throw on and play for an afternoon while having a few beers on your day off, then never touch it again for a few years kind of game. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude on the internet. Still, Grand Theft Auto will be remembered for birthing the modern open world concept. The wanted stars, stealing anything that moves, mowing down pedestrians, driving around and destroying the city. It didn't just create a game, it created a genre. Go anywhere. Do anything. Play the game how you want it to be played. And most importantly, have fun. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, leave a video reply, and if that like button's giving you any trouble, make sure to tell a trusted adult. Later.